What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be absolutely awesome. I got something super awesome planned for you guys. I actually went out and I bought another car. I got a brand new car, went to the dealership, I threw cash right onto the salesman's desk, and yeah, here it is. We're going to reveal it for you guys. 2022 GT500. So just a quick overview of the car, just to go over a few things. This actually isn't a brand new car. I guess I lied about that. It is a used car. One thing I want to show you guys, the previous owner put a PPF protection all around the car. So it looks like it's a matte white, but it's actually been clear broad with the satin finish. So I guess there is one other thing that I lied about, and that is I didn't buy the car. I'm actually just doing a review on it today. I have it for 24 hours. I'm able to drive it around and do whatever I want with it in that amount of time. And so we're gonna film some videos with this thing. I've already driven it a little bit. I think we've put about 20 miles on it so far, and I can say that this thing is an absolute blast to drive. I mean, it's crazy fast. I haven't even gone full throttle on it yet. I've probably gone half to 3/4, I'm guessing. But we're here in Austin, Texas, and we are parked right now in the parking garage near the Oasis. And if anybody knows this area, you know that there's some really good back roads around here. So being able to do the paddle shifters and rev match it and downshift and all that, I mean, it's crazy. I know, save the manuals, but man, they really did something right on this car with the automatic. So as far as this video is going to go, this isn't going to be like an in-depth review of the car. I'm actually going to make a separate video for that. This one is just going to be kind of enjoying the day with the car, just doing first impressions, and just, I don't know, just having fun with the car, just taking you guys through it. And I do apologize for the wind. We're probably going to move down into the garage where it's less windy, but we just wanted to get some sun, get some nice angles of the car. So for any of you guys that know about these cars, this is a 2022. This isn't the carbon fiber edition. It's not the track pack. It's got, you know, the basic GT500 wheels. Even with it being, I guess, what you would call the base model GT500, it still outperforms like any other car that I've ever driven, at least. And so if I were to get one myself, I honestly would probably get one spec'd out exactly like this. And funny enough, yesterday, before we went and rented the car, me and my brother were driving around and we saw a Twister Orange 2020 GT500. I don't think it was the track pack, but it was the carbon fiber edition. But he had instead of the carbon fiber wheels, he had the carbon fiber wheels, but they were painted black. So I guess that was an option or something that I didn't even know about. But that car was extremely nice, and it got me even more excited to be in this thing today. So for anybody new to the channel, I am an absolute Mustang fanatic, and for anyone that's seen the channel, you know about all the different Mustangs that I've gone through over the past, I don't even know, 7 to 8 years, I guess. And if you have been around in the channel, you know that me and my brother are both real into new edge Mustangs. But lately we've kind of been looking at expanding our expanding our lineup of Mustangs, even though as of right now we've only ever purchased SN95s and new edges. But lately we've really been kind of getting the itch of S550s. The S1997s are cool, but there's something about the S550, I don't know what that is. Might have been a GT500 driver. We just missed it. Probably a freaking lime green track pack. But we've just been seeing a lot driving around. We've been watching videos, and we're like, man, I really want to experience an S550. And so since today's my birthday, I went on Turo, and there were, I think, 5 different S550s. I think there was only one GT, and the rest were, you know, convertible 4-cylinders, whatever. But there was one GT500, and it wasn't far from here at all. And so I decided to go ahead and do it, book it, and I can say that this car, having driven a manual S550 5.0 and one GT350, this one is definitely the GT350 with it being manual. Some people might find that more fun than an automatic, but the way that this thing shifts and the way that it puts the power down, if you're someone who really likes fast cars, this is the one for you. If you like just being able to, row through gears and whatnot with having a decent amount of power, GT350 is probably the way to go. I will say that one of us, either me or my brother, is probably going to end up getting an S550 somewhat soon. I don't know if it'll be a GT500, but it'll definitely be a V8. It will definitely be, well, I won't say it'll definitely be a manual. We might get a 10-speed 5.0, something like that. Who knows? But we wanted to experience, I guess, the top of the line S550 and then kind of work our way back down and see what's worth the value and whatnot. So that's why I ended up renting it out for today. Anyways, getting back to the Shelby, like I said before, the car's got full PPF protection, and I was kind of talking with the owner a little bit whenever I went to go pick it up, and he basically bought this car to rent it out on Turo. I'm sure he drives it around himself every now and then, but he wanted to get the car and enjoy it a little bit himself, but then also rent it out on Turo for others to enjoy. So I thought it was pretty cool. Whenever we pulled up, my brother was actually the one to notice, but he was like, something's wrong with the paint. I think he wrapped it. And he told us that he did a full PPF on the car, but it's not the gloss PPF, it's the satin. So if you look at the door jambs and stuff, it is a factory white car. And then as far as the specs and everything, the features on the car, as far as I know, this is like the base model GT500. It doesn't have the carbon fiber wheels. And then on the interior, it's got the normal seats, not the Recaros, which are honestly still super comfortable. And if you're someone who doesn't care too much about having to have the Recaros, I mean, these feel great, and you'll save a decent amount of money speccing it out like this, I think. So before I rented this thing, I was watching a pretty good amount of videos on YouTube of just people driving the cars and just reviews of them, walk-arounds and all that. And, watching the videos and whatnot, there's a lot of good videos out there, people driving them. Even in the videos, the car looks like an absolute monster. I mean, if you watch like POV driving videos, you can tell that it's a fast car and it's a really fun car to drive. It handles great. But getting into it in real life, it's to me, it's similar, but it's completely different in the fact that in the videos and stuff, you don't feel the car shifting. You're not actually throttling it yourself, and I mean, basically you're not driving the car, you're just watching someone else drive the car. So getting into it today for the very first time, it's weird how like you have an idea in your head of how it's supposed to drive from watching a video, and then actually driving it. It's like, even like an automatic car, say you take like a Chevy truck, you throw it into drive and you let off the brake, it's already kind of moving. This car, I don't know, it's like you put it into drive and let off the brake and it doesn't really move, but then it'll kind of start to go, and then you got to give it gas. It feels like there's no torque, but then you get to about 1200 RPM whenever it's kind of moving, and then you're feeling it. You're feeling the engine. You're like, okay. And if you drive it normal, like if it's just shifting at 1500 RPM, 2000 RPM, it'll buck. You can feel that it's wanting you to mash that throttle down, because that's when it feels the smoothest. But not getting too far into that, because like I said, I'm doing a completely separate video going in depth of everything. But just first impressions right off the bat, I can tell you that whenever I sat into the car, about to leave the guy's house, my heart was racing already, and then driving, it was racing more, and then getting above 40 miles an hour, I mean, it's just like you feel your adrenaline's pumping. You kind of forget what it is you're driving. I mean, like you're not thinking about, oh, I'm driving a Mustang, 2020 Mustang. I mean, it feels like a completely different car that like it could be labeled as not a Mustang. I mean, and it's just crazy that this is a Mustang made by Ford. And I mean, I remember one thing too, like whenever these things first came out, you know, I was just like, okay, it's a GT500 that's automatic, you know, and I thought that was kind of dumb. But you know, having ridden in the 01 Bullet, which was probably around 550 horsepower, that was the fastest car that I had ever driven. Going into a car that's now 760, but it's an automatic, it can hold that power so much more. I mean, it's just a completely different experience, and nothing gets your adrenaline going more than a freaking supercharged V8 that also has an automatic that can shift well. One thing I want to bring up also, getting aside from like the power and whatnot, just talking about the suspension and the ride quality of the car. A lot of the videos that I saw from, you know, like top car reviewers on YouTube, they talk about how the ride quality isn't super comfortable, I guess. It's more stiff, obviously, as a car like this would be, that's made to go fast around the track and take corners. But someone like me who doesn't review a lot of new cars, and what I come from is from SN95s and new edges with solid axles, you know, from the 2000 era and whatnot. This car rides so well. I mean, I could easily daily drive this thing. I daily drove a 2002 Mustang GT and other various new edges, which ride 20 times worse than this thing, as I'm sure a lot of you, you know, who are subscribed to my channel also probably daily drive SN95s and whatnot, or maybe you did one day back in the day. This car is easily daily drivable. Obviously, it's not practical for gas mileage and just putting that many miles onto a car like this, but as far as ride quality goes, unless you're driving brand new cars every day that are like luxury cars, I am absolutely blown away and impressed by the way this thing runs and drives as far as the quality goes. Even in sport mode. I mean, I haven't done track mode yet just because, well, I don't even know if I'm allowed to, but just going from like the normal mode to the sport mode, I don't even feel that much of a difference. You hit bumps and stuff, I mean, sure you feel them, but I could take this thing cross country and my back wouldn't hurt or anything. I mean, it would feel, I'd be fine. But anyways, we went ahead and popped the hood open here, so just wanted to show you guys a quick shot of the engine. I'm sure that there's plenty of videos out there showing this, you know, engine off and whatnot, but it's really awesome to see it in person. Coming from someone like me who's been watching videos, a bunch of videos on this car, seeing it in person is like literally a dream come true. Since we're at the top of a garage and we've been standing in the sun for probably an hour or so, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start it up, let you guys hear it. I'm gonna drive through the garage a little bit, and if my brother's okay with it, maybe we can just walk and kind of shoot it. But here's the key. Somebody's trying to do it right now. Who knows? Maybe I even might end up buying this exact same one.
If you guys subscribe and watch the video
We just need
a billion
to hit
times.
100,000 subscribers by tomorrow.
It's got the wide body. Matte white. I wonder if he wrapped this with film. I don't think he did.
He did. I can see the cut. Yeah. Well, that's good.
That's good that he left this gloss. I like that.
Because I will say, whenever these first came out, I freaking hated the way that they did the front bumper. Like, I hated how this was painted. I don't know. I just thought it looked weird. Just seeing the GT350 and then this, it was like, to me, the GT350 was absolute perfection. And then they did it this way, which is probably because a lot of other cars were kind of doing it this way also.
Right.
But
I mean, I'd say I like this better than the GT350 now. I mean,
yeah.
I like the GT350, but this is just meaner, even more aggressive than the GT350.
That I haven't done yet, but my brother already did. But I wanted to pop the trunk. I just wanted to see what kind of space was in it and whatnot. How do I do it?
Just get the key, double click it.
I thought it was like the new Edge where you pop the glove box, there'd be a button right there.
I think maybe they still have that. I don't know.
Let's see what kind of space we're working with back here. Not bad.
Just the normal stuff.
Looks about the same as a new Edge Mustang, I'd say.
No liner up there, just full.
Huh.
No Mustang has a liner up there.
Yeah, I guess not.
That's why they're cheap.
I don't know. I guess every Mustang so far has been the same, but I get new Edge
Yeah.
vibes with this. Just the way that this hangs down, that's some new Edge type stuff right there. It's meant to be no spare. Interesting.
Just a pump or tire pump, air pump.
I don't think any of my new Edges had spares either.
And the rear diffuser.
Yeah.
What are those 5-inch tips, I think?
Looks like it. All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna end the video here. We're just gonna end up enjoying the view. Not that view. I'm talking about this right here. We're gonna. There we go. That actually slams pretty nicely. Interesting. Like on a lot of cars, when you slam it, I don't know. That one felt really soft. Felt like there was a spring loaded on it or something. But anyways, we're probably gonna hang out here for a little bit longer. We're gonna drive the car on the back roads and whatnot. We got plenty of clips of us driving it as well, so you guys can enjoy those. And then either later today or tomorrow, we'll do a more in-depth review of it, and that video will be posted within the week, maybe 2 weeks, something like that. We'll probably take our time editing that one. So, but yeah, I thank you guys for tuning in today's video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe now, because we are doing a lot of other cool stuff as well. And like I said, we plan on getting another Mustang to the channel, maybe 2 Mustangs. I'll tell you what, I will always have a new Edge though for you guys, whether it be a Terminator Mach 1 GT, no V6s though, no V6 on the channel. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace out, see you on the next one.
And that's the video.